Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We're still just kind of chilling right now after the war. Biding our time, building up our strength. Waiting for when we can take back Flanders. There's a lot going on in kind of around the world here. Austria has lost its Italian territory to the Second Sardinia-Piedmont. We're having a little colonial war happening here in Africa. Great Britain has continued to expand overseas. Its overseas territories. They've made a dominion out of the Sikh Empire and some other territories in Africa. I'm sure in a funny situation with Harar where I would love them to get the rest of Ethiopia conquered so that I could conquer them and turn them into a dominion and then have Ethiopia as a dominion. That would be rad. I would love that. Thinking about getting some dominions overseas myself. I'll only be 14 to get the Marina Kingdom. So I think part of what I've learned here is that I need to be more careful about, number one, keeping at least one army in my fronts. I thought I could get cheeky about that situation in Great Britain, and I really couldn't. Unfortunately, with the loss of some of that territory, we've fallen back down to rank 2. So we'll for sure need to reconquer that stuff. Okay. Settle down, Victoria 3. It's fine. We're having a little war here. But we've just finished the military side of this war here in Central Africa. So these armies are coming down to Southern Africa to fight against the Herero people. Oh boy. Excuse me? We've had a breakup of the government. Okay, so one of our parties fell apart. And both the intelligentsia and the petite bourgeoisie want to join the Republican Union. So, if I put just the Republican Union in power, that will not work. All right, but let's grab. Oh God, that's going to cost us so much in terms of loyalists. But what if I do the Republican Union anyway? Oh, that's still going to be... Losing the rural folks is going to be so much. But I can't wait this whole time with an illegitimate government. Alright, we'll do rural folk and armed forces. Oh, this is gonna potentially be a real waste of loyalists, but let's do it. All right, and now, of course. Okay, so the Republican Union was still a very weak party overall, and the FTSF is still a very small party. With that said, we've had some changes. Again, I'm really... That situation is not my favorite. Cool. We do have significant growth of the French population in these North African territories, though, so I'm still pleased about that. God's will. Jules de Guidon of the Catholic Party has been sent preaching in favor of the Party of Order, convinced that their party has been foreseen in God's plans. Do you think God would not have a plan for our pious nation? Of course there's a plan. There must always be a plan. I've seen it myself. Let me tell you, and I've seen it as clear as I see you all right now, just before my eyes. And who else is to lead this adrift government, other than those who can clearly read that plan? Who are we to stand in the way of God's will? That makes the Catholic Church stronger. Such a shame this nation is not ruled by God then, but God surely wants the Union of Rights to win. I'm going to go with that one, because I've got the armed forces in government. The armed forces are currently very powerful in France. Got these radicals over here. I could go to compulsory primary school. The industrialists would not love this, but yeah, let's do it. That'll let us get education up. Socialist internationalism. The FTSF is receiving election campaign funds from communist rural folk in Flanders. So comrades, come rally, and let us... The last fight let us face. The Internationale unites the human race. Flemish socialists are welcome too. This gives them a bunch of momentum, or try to limit foreign interference in the election. I'm going to do that second one. Not too keen on having a socialist presence right now. Cool. We've had success in our war in Central Africa. We're now continuing to fight our war in Southern Africa. So after we build all these railways, let's work on getting our taxation capacity up. Rhône needs, Guyana, Rhône, and Poitou-Saintonge. Let's work on that first, and then we'll deal with the other stuff. Oh, not Guyenne. We need about another 115. So that's about 7 levels of government administration. We'll do 8. Rhône is here. We need another 105, so that's 7. We'll do 8 once again. Those are the ones I remember. What's the natural solution? Members of the Union of Rights have proudly stated that the only way to lead us out of the French Empire versus Herero War is to leave the government of our nation in their capable hands. Desperate time calls for desperate measures. Not that we are a desperate measure, of course, but it's how the saying goes. The natural order of linguistics. To each their own, ordo naturalis, we must play by those rules, and how could something be more natural than letting the Union of Rights lead us through war? We truly are the most capable people, or military populism in my war? The truly are the most capable people gives them momentum and makes the armed forces happy. Military populism in my war makes them lose momentum. It makes academics happy, but officers and servicemen unhappy, i.e. radicalizes. I'm going to give them some momentum. Because I want to keep my government as legitimate as I can. So how is this election going? The Agrarian and Farmer Party is pretty low, but the Union of Rights is pretty high. The FTFS has got bananas momentum right now. How the heck? That's wild. We might, let me see, who's leading them? A Social Democrat. We might end up with them in power, despite their small size right now. Hey, compulsory primary schools and drafting. We got another oil rush. I'm going to encourage this trend. Oil is the future. This is another one of those, like, you can do a small increase in migration attraction and oil industry employees, or a large one. I'm going to go with the large one. Prussia and the Ottoman Empire are fighting. What are y'all fighting over? Nama uprising. They want Thessaly. The Prussians do. Interesting. We've had another native uprising. This is one of these other... This is the other country in southern Africa that we're colonizing. So we'll go ahead and do that. And propose that peace deal right here as we move the rest of our troops over to the other front. Very good. Getting a lot of notifications here. Trying to get that dialed back. So, we've just had a new election. Apparently, the trade unions and the armed forces is the most legitimate government we can have, which is absolutely bananas to me. But it is what it is, and I want to keep the government legitimate, so it's what's got to be done. The Republican Union is not a great coalition. The industrialists, the intelligentsia, and the petite bourgeoisie here, they don't agree on enough, and it's making them hard to deal with. With that having been said, I wonder if I can grab a general who believes the things that I like and just unilaterally make him the leader of the armed forces. I can't. So, unfortunately, it's going to be the trade unions and the armed forces in the government, which isn't necessarily bad. It's going to change up what we can do. And there's shift work unlocked. Wonderful. I'm hoping to get compulsory primary school finished pretty quickly. Institutions are looking pretty good. Pretty solid. We're going to win our little war in Africa. That should be just fine. Reparation in French Gabon. Let's see. We were working on getting our government admin sorted out. So let's look at our other areas that we've got tax capacity shortages. Poitou-Saintonge. That's here. We need another 100 capacity. So it's going to be 7. Round it up to 8, as we've been doing. Algiers. We've got 253. We need 354. So we'll do another 7 this time. That'll make us a nice balanced 12. Media endorsements. The Voice of Nancy, a popular newspaper read by the petit bourgeois class all over the French Empire, has published an article by Alexis Bonin advocating for the enactment of compulsory primary school. Putting out a newspaper without promotion is like winking at a girl in the dark. Well-intentioned, but ineffective. Who are we to counteract the voice of the people? This gives us faster enactment time and greater enactment chance, or offer our thanks to the publisher. This makes the petite bourgeoisie stronger. I'm going to go with this one, with the first one. The second one also gives us enactment time and chance, but I don't think it's worth it to make the petite bourgeoisie stronger right now. To get less enactment chance than something we really need. So we just did Algiers. Lorraine. here. There's our war with the Nama people. We need about 75, so that's going to be about 5 levels of government admin. Champagne. This is really testing my knowledge of French geography here. I thought Champagne was in southern France. I'm going to feel really stupid when I find it, huh? Here we go. We're short about 50 here, so we need 4 levels. Most of these places don't have government admin at all, which I thought a lot of them did. Let's see here. IQ 10. Down here we need 4 levels. Got us going a little faster here. Constantine. We need... We're about 60 short, so we need 4 levels. And Provence, which is down here, we're about 45 short, so we need 3 levels. Interesting. Probably should have spread out my government admin more, but honestly, I just wasn't thinking about it. So, how much longer does our truce with the Low Countries last? 35 months, which is about 3 more years. So we'll go after that once that's ready to go. We're almost below infamous, but we just have to get our territory back. It's kind of a no-question situation. So, let's take another run at our infrastructure situation. Overall, we're doing pretty well. And a couple more in Alsace-Lorraine. Artistic expressions. A popular Occitan newsletter has released a statement by Alexis Bonnel, endorsing several poets known for their sympathies to the intelligentsia's interests. The ideals of love and comradeship are present therein, but when one looks beyond the surface, one is faced with the precise conditions for such a thing. Those things which foster the highest ideals and can be made manifest in one's daily life. The idols of Occitan culture stand behind our reforms, or the loyal support of the intelligentsia should be rewarded. I don't necessarily want to increase the power of the intelligentsia right now, so we'll go with the first one. That'll get us higher enactment chance. Let's see. Where else do we potentially need more infrastructure? I think we're mostly doing okay. I think I built it up pretty well in areas that needed it. Still building a few in IQ 10. Could use a few more in Guyenne. A few more in Languedoc. A bit in Provence. A few more in Rhône. Wild wells. Blowouts, oil fires, and other lethal accidents are becoming more common as the hunt for oil in Ivory Coast grows more ruthless. You think you've seen fire, but you've never seen fire like this, he said, giving the young man a stern look. And you better pray you don't, because if you haven't been out there on the oil fields, the only place you'd ever see it is hell itself. Wherever there is oil, there will be blood. This makes mortality go up by 20%. It makes the industrialists happy and the trade unions unhappy, or pressure the owners to take a more careful approach. This makes the industrialists unhappy, makes the trade unions happy, and reduces throughput. How much do we need oil in our current market? Not that much. We'll pressure the owners to take a more thorough approach. Have we won this war yet? Yes. Any colonization rights? Are there any other areas we can colonize? Not yet. We're still continuing to press forward, but soon we'll continue to grow in those areas. We've got a huge chunk of Central Africa colonized now. Because we're outpacing the British due to our capacity to resist malaria, we're doing a lot better with that than they are at the moment. As well as in Ireland. Turmoil's still pretty high in Munster, but we do need... Excellent, mass immigration of Albanians. But we do need an economic development plan for that area, so I'll work on that at some point. We've got electrical generation. So what has that unlocked for us? Other than the capacity to build power plants themselves. Electric streetlights for urban centers, power plants, electric sawmills for logging camps. And that's it. So, well, is the Ottoman Empire squaring off with today? Austria. They want to conquer Ottoman Montenegro and Bosnia. Compulsory primary schools gone to voting. Excellent. Bosnia. Okay, interesting. So the Ottoman Empire is trying to expand south. Or Austria is trying to expand south. The Ottoman Empire is still actually fighting Prussia over them trying to take Thessaly, which is an interesting animal. I might side with the Ottoman Empire just to get back fighty with the Austrians, but we'll see. They haven't incorporated reverse swaying into the game yet, so I can't go, hey, give me a chunk of Austria, if you know what's good for you. But that's fine for us right now. We get electric fences. Well, first let's get barbed wire fences for our livestock ranches. We could get electrical ones as well once we've got electricity. So where are we with wood? Because wood's the primary thing. We could definitely use more of it. It's not tragic, though. Where we're really doing rough is where coal is concerned. So that's definitely something we want to try to expand. Let's take a little longer. Revolution in Danubia, another revolt in Slovakia. This one a peasant revolt. Interesting. I'm not using all my construction capacity. Is that what's happening? No, I am. Colonization of Gabon completed. The Austrians have begun embargoing us. Austria, you can't. You're all over the place with this. IT wants a defensive pact. I'll allow it. You have a lot of cultural ties. Oran needs some additional government administration, so I'm building that there. We'll go ahead and do North Rhine as well. How short are we in North Rhine? 2 admins. 3 more. A bit in Alsace-Lorraine, a bit in Burgundy, and a bit in Poitou-Sontage. Alright, so we'll do 2 in Alsace-Lorraine. We'll do a bit here. Is it Normandy? No, it couldn't have been Normandy. We got a huge pile in Normandy. So Burgundy. I feel like we already queued up a bunch in Burgundy. Curious. But it is what it is. And the gold is depleted in Guyana. The rich mineral deposits in French Guiana have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. There's no more gold in them there hills. Unfortunate, or we cannot just let them leave. I'll do the second one. I'm going to build some more gold mines there, I think. What that means is technically the gold mine capacity is increased, even if the gold field capacity is decreased. Get going fast here again. This is a tough point because we're kind of in tension right now. And there's compulsory primary schools. So we'll go ahead and increase our capacity here. And we can't change up the citizenship law right now. The armed forces are very pleased. But Bernard Georges Ribéry is very old. They're still going to get really mad if I retire him. So, we'll leave it for now. If he gets up to 76 without dying, I might... Eastern New Guinea is isolated. Yes, our colonies in Southeast Asia. Ports. Ports. We'll put those all the way at the top. We'll do the same with the gold mines. Oh my goodness. Shewa won a war with Harar. That's exciting. Perhaps Shewa is the country that will end up uniting Ethiopia. An interesting turn of events. Hello, secession. Irish secession. Well, that's really unfortunate. I'm going to remove the consumption tax on wine. And I'm going to have to remove another one if I want to be able to get descent down here. I need to get... Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem possible to outrun this. But my situation was so sideways. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. I can get control back over that territory. And then get it properly developed the way it deserves to be developed. I'll need to get started incorporating it again, though. That's going to be a tragedy. Oh my goodness. The Prussians and the Russians are in a war now. Russia wants to humiliate Prussia and grab Mecklenburg's Strelitz. Secession. Psychological warfare. An affair between Abric Decaux and Bernard Bray's spouse has reached our ears, threatening to affect his public image if we don't destitute the general. I just fell on her, I swear. We still need a general, and these are personal matters. 90% chance if nothing happens. 10% if he gets... he becomes an alcoholic. Bray does. We cannot trust a man like this. Decaux gets fired. Bray gets syphilis. And in this one, this guy gets syphilis. No, they both get syphilis. And this one, only one gets syphilis. What does syphilis do? Oh, only one gets syphilis because the other dies. Not necessarily a problem for a general. With that having been said... Decaux. So this is the guy we're deciding. He's a market liberal from the intelligentsia. He's fine. We can't trust a man like this. I don't need that in my life. Alright, so we've got an Irish secession movement. It's tragic, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab our Philippe de Cornulier is going to get mobilized. He'll do a naval invasion once the time comes. Truthfully, I didn't look to improving conditions in Ireland that much, so that wasn't great. But I don't think anyone will intervene in this. I think we will mostly be able to. Excellent. Our man has died. Now who's leading the government? Yes, our Orleanist. And that's completely goofed up our legitimacy. Ugh. Well, that's a shame. And I still can't change up my my citizenship rules. Huh. Well, sorry, Union of Rights. The FTFSF just... Well, we're not any different, actually, here, so... We're fine. If we drop to illegitimate, we'll have to change over, but basically we're doing okay. Well, I was excited for it, but now it seems I am... I was excited for it, but it seems now I am regretting my desire to have things go differently. But it is what it is. It's not a tragedy. I'm going to mobilize my small armies just to make sure that they can help out. So that our fronts don't get silly, because fronts tend to get silly. Wow, China aligned with Russia. Best of luck with that, Prussia. You can, you do what you're doing. The United States is going after Kutai. Egypt is having a revolt in its puppet. So as soon as this war pops off, I'm going to pause. Russia sides with Egypt. You really think you can fight both of these wars at once, huh? Surprising. So we'll just go ahead and naval invade. We'll grab Colonies. Go ahead and get that done. Baden wants a trade agreement? No. Bringing in a couple new admirals here. Gosh, both of these guys are reckless. Okay, where have we got not many troops? You? Reckless and shell-shocked. Awful combination. Ooh, you have a trade unions guy. Cool. Anyway, go ahead and unpause that. We're just doing a quick naval invasion of Ireland. Shouldn't be a problem. That should also significantly reduce radicalism in Ireland once we conquer them back, so it shouldn't be a problem. I regret having to go to war with our brothers here in Ireland in who we sought to save from oppression by the British. But it simply is what it is. We have an electricity shortage. Who do we have using electricity? Okay. going on with that. Naval battle shouldn't last long. A lot of countries are embargoing us right now, which is making trade a little bit difficult. Concrete dockyards. Alright, so we are winning the naval invasion. Colonization of Chad is complete. Wonderful. We do have one place we can put in a colony, Eastern New Guinea now. Oh boy. Socialist Demagogue. Vincent de Beaufort of the Armed Forces is rapidly gaining popularity among the people. The radical socialist message of equality he espouses is proving especially appealing to the lower classes. Comrades, the time for action is now. Why should we toil in squalor while the boss grows rich and fat off our labor? Why should the meager pennies we earn go to the greedy landlord who tells us we should be grateful for our miserable shacks? Inspirational. Echoes of revolutions. A current of radical liberal thought is spreading internationally and has recently reached the French Empire. Why should I concern myself with the freedom of the press? All they print is rubbish. If you know what sort of rubbish doesn't make it to print, you may find the distinction between varieties more important than you think. Let's hear what they have to say. Colonel Tronchin becomes a radical, or sounds like a menace. Okay, so he's going to become a radical either way. This is that Navy guy that we just hired. Let's reduce his popularity, because I don't necessarily want more radicals around here. North Italian mass immigration, very good. This battle is going a lot slower than I'm hoping, but I hope that once it gets finished, we'll be able to put a pin in this situation pretty efficiently and not have to deal with a whole lot of nonsense. There's defense in depth researched. Let's grab those two. Smaller commander. See, again, we've developed a situation where we have a tiny front and nobody at it. I'm bringing in a bunch more armies to deal with that. I am pressing forward now, though. And there's a general. Perfect. Excuse me? Triumph of the Armed Forces, Ile-de-France. With socialist ideas sweeping across the French Empire, Vincent de Beaufort of the Armed Forces has been appointed to a leading position in the government. There is sufficient momentum for a rapid policy change. Oh boy. The proletariat is everywhere, assuming a threatening attitude. It is beginning to count the ranks of its enemy, far weaker in itself than numbers, than itself, and to demand the actualization of its rights. All people and all men are filled with a kind of premonition, and everyone whose vital organs are not paralyzed faces with shuddering expectation the approaching future which will utter the redeeming word. Guarantee fair wages, that gets us wage subsidies and welfare. The armed forces will always select vanguardist, communist, or anarchist. Hold on, I didn't even do path to socialism. What are we even talking about? Why? Okay, alright. Protect labor rights, enables regulatory bodies. That's definitely going to be good. Okay, so all of these are going to make the armed forces hold to communist stuff. This one's going to... The third one's pass laws protecting the trade unions. That's going to make the armed forces more powerful. I'm going to go with protect labor rights. Now, he uses regulatory bodies, which is something we want to reduce dangerous working conditions. This is bananas. I don't... What a strange turn of events. With that having been said, it is a prime time to go to a different type of government, which might let us get a better hold on all this. So we could do technocracy. The trade unions oppose it, but the armed forces support it. Autocracy would not work. Unfortunately, the rural folk and the intelligentsia would oppose a move to technocracy. So that's nothing doing. Everyone wants to go to monarchy from a presidential republic from a monarchy, but I don't necessarily want that because this is supposed to be a run that's about the monarchy situation. We could take another run at proportional taxation now that the trade unions are stronger. I think that's where we're going to go. Is that the right call? I think it is. Yeah, I think that's the plan for now. I'm trying to make that happen. Let's see. Shouldn't be but a bit longer. Still don't have a lot of areas we can open up for colonization in Africa yet. We're not building anything. We need to build things. And by things, I mean coal mines. So, where do we have capacity for coal mines? We have capacity for 60 coal mines in Eki 10. 60 coal mines is going to cost 120 infrastructure. Railways produce 15 infrastructure per level. So we'll need 8 to round it up to 10 just to be reasonable. And then we'll just go ahead and fill the area with coal mines. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're currently doing. Education investment has gone up. And I did move workplace safety up in an overall investment level to make sure that that gets finished out in a reasonable time frame. How long until we can take back our territory in northern France? Just a little longer. Alright, so I think I'm going to go until the end of the until the completion of the Irish secession here. I'm going to get Ireland back to being in the process of being incorporated. And now we need a development plan, because I can't have things go sideways here again. So, first of all, got an infrastructure shortage. That needs to be handled. 4 railways all the way up to the top. How much labor have we got available here? 286,000. We got a bunch of government admin under construction. That's fine. In fact, I'm going to put all that stuff up to the top. We do have power plants. Interesting. Alright, so that's our production method standardized. So, what do we want to build here? It's been a minute since I've taken a look at our market. We definitely need logging. We need lead mining. We need steel mills. Pretty good on glassworks and tools, actually. You have lead mines that are struggling to employ people, but that shouldn't be a problem. That's some production methods we need to standardize. And logging camps as well. So let's get some steel mills. Do 10 levels of steel mills. How many levels of railways are we doing? Let's do more. I recognize that's not super efficient in the long term, but it's going to be necessary because of the shortage of construction efficiency. Because of the shortage of infrastructure due to the damage. Let's get some... Can always use more glassworks, I'm pretty sure. We're doing pretty okay for glass, actually. I'm pretty okay for a lot of different resources. Wow, that's pretty rare for me. What about paper mills? Paper mills are always a good thing to have more of. Should be good for now. And then we'll get these railways up to the top. We need the railways built more than anything. Cool. Not the most efficient development plan in the world, but useful enough. So next episode, we'll go on and get back our territory in Flanders. We've actually already moved back up to number 1. This is probably due to us being amazing and awesome at everything. And proportional taxation has moved to drafting. Wonderful. Netherlands claims Guyana. That's... Guyana. With that having been completed, we are now in a state of the episode being finished. So we've got Ireland back, or Munster at least. We've got a development plan in the works. The lead mines are hiring again due to a shortage. Oh, right, we need ports and whatnot. That's alright. Alright. That's it for now. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. I'll see you all on the other side.